Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about Licorice Pizza. And this movie is directed by Paul Thomas Anderson, came out in 2021, and it stars a whole bunch of actors I've never seen in anything before or haven't seen in a very long time. And I thought this movie was really great. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and for those who probably don't remember or forgotten about it, there was a point in time where I've always been wanting to watch this movie. It's been on my watch list for a year, and I think it was when I reviewed Paths of Glory, because I reviewed that movie instead of watching Licorice Pizza, because at the time there was no way for me to watch it. I was I was so upset, and I was really looking forward to it, but there weren't any theaters that were playing it where I'm living at, and I was just so upset. So now I finally got to watch it, and I'm very happy that I did. I feel as though I got something unique out of it. I enjoyed the story and the structure, and it's a very simple movie. It's just kind of a whole bunch of scenes where it's not really connected all that much. The only thing that ties it together are just you have the same characters in these different scenes. And because that there isn't really much of a connection to these scenes, I feel as though that makes the movie unpredictable for the most part. And you never really know what's going to happen with each passing scene, maybe except for a couple things, but for the most part it always had a way of subverting my expectations. It could have gone down a really easy route, and instead it did something else, and I was happy with that. And I don't really want to say what these things are because I don't want to spoil anything, but it was always really enjoyable, and I like the cast in this movie. I think it was a good cast that we had. And we had Cooper Hoffman. I think this is his first film he's ever been in, and I thought he was great. Helena Haim? I have no idea how to pronounce her name. Haim. She was great, and a lot of the acting's really good. And Bradley Cooper, he's in the movie for 5 minutes, and I thought he was hilarious. And there are some actors that only have 5 minutes of screen time, and they're really funny in the movie. or at least I think they're funny. And they do kind of add to the universe in which this movie takes place in. And this movie does take place in the 70s, and it does capture that time period very well, if you ask me. And I enjoyed the soundtrack choices. I thought that they were catchy and added to the tone of the film, and I really like the tone of the movie a lot. And that's also something that carries the movie for me. It also looks beautiful. It's very well shot. There were lots of really great characters in this movie, and I really enjoyed our two main leads. And I think they had good chemistry, and they worked very well in the film. And I just really enjoyed the directions that this movie went, and it was always entertaining for me. It always had me. I was with it. And if I'm going to compare this movie to other Paul Thomas Anderson movies, there are others that I like better, that impacted me more, like Boogie Nights, There Will Be Blood, Magnolia. I wouldn't say this is his best movie, but it was very enjoyable, and it does stand out from his filmography, just the tone of it, and not a whole lot of crazy things happen, and it's mostly just dialogue and watching characters talk, and that's most of what you get out of the movie. And none of the dialogue was bad, none of it was cheesy and forced. It was always very natural when we got from point A to point B, and I always believed these characters. And there were some moments that were what are we doing here? And the third act, without spoiling anything, there was a point where it kind of got a little cheesy and goofy in a way that I felt was a bit distracting, but for the most part, it works pretty well. And that's about all I have to say about Licorice Pizza. It was thoroughly enjoyable. I loved it, and it's a great experience for me, and it tells me what I want. And although there are other movies from Paul Thomas Anderson's filmography that I've seen that impacted me more, there isn't really too much to complain about, and overall, it's just my biggest problem with it would be that there are just other movies that he directed that I like better that have a somewhat similar structure, but impacted me more just from one viewing. And I haven't rewatched any of his movies, but his other movies impacted me more than this film did. But that's not to say that this movie did anything particularly terrible or bad. It's just that there's a little something that's missing for me. I would happily rewatch this movie, and I think just about anyone can enjoy it. So definitely check this movie out whenever you come across it. And with all that being said, I'm going to give Licorice Pizza an 8 out of 10. Thank you for watching my videos as always. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below you thought of Licorice Pizza, and my social media links, they will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see you when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. So look forward to that, but until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.